Hello, welcome to Programming in Scratch, a basic guide, video 3. In this video we're going to create sprites and backdrops, create some animations and also properly define some key Scratch terms we have mentioned earlier. This means by the end of the video you should be able to create and edit your own sprites, create backdrops and use sprites to create animations. So let's get started by going over 4 important key terms in Scratch. Sprite. A sprite is like a character or object in your Scratch project. It could be an animal, a person, or even a car. Sprites are the things you can make move, talk, and do actions in your game or animation. Block. A block is a piece of code that tells your sprite what to do. In Scratch, you drag blocks together to give instructions, like making a sprite move, speak, or change color. Blocks are like puzzle pieces that fit together to create your program. Costume. A costume is the different looks or outfits your sprite can wear. For example, it might have different costumes like sitting, walking, or jumping. You can switch between costumes to make your sprite do different actions. Backdrop. A backdrop is like the background or scene of your project. It sets the stage for where your sprites are. For example, a farm, a city, or outer space can be backdrops in your Scratch project. With that done, let's walk through 3 new techniques for improving your Scratch programs. Let's start with creating your own sprite using the Paint tool. Creating your own sprite using the Paint tool in Scratch is super creative and fun. Here's how you can do it. Click on Choose a Sprite. Look at the bottom right corner of the Scratch screen. You'll see a little icon with a cat's head and a plus sign. Click on it, but instead of choosing a sprite from the library, click on the Paint option at the top of the menu. This will open up the Paint editor. Open the Paint editor. When you click Paint, a blank canvas will appear. This is where you can draw your own sprite. You'll see tools like a paintbrush, shapes, text, and colors that you can use to create anything you want. Use the Paint tools like Brush tool. Click on the paintbrush to start drawing freehand. You can change the size of the brush and pick any color you like. Shape tool. If you want to draw shapes like circles, squares, or triangles, click on the Shape tool. This is great for making a body, head, or other parts of your sprite. Fill tool. Click the Fill tool to color in your shapes or areas. Choose a color and then click inside the shape you want to fill. Eraser tool. Made a mistake? Use the Eraser tool to fix it. Add details. You can add eyes, a mouth, arms, legs, whatever you like to make your sprite unique. You can even use the Text tool to add words or a name to your sprite. Save your sprite. Now you've created your very own sprite from scratch, pun intended. You can move it around, make it talk, and use it just like any other sprite in your project. Our second technique for today is creating a backdrop using the Paint tool. This is just like creating a sprite, but instead of making a character, you're designing the background for your project. Here's how to do it. Click on Choose a Backdrop. Look at the bottom right corner of the Scratch screen, just like when you chose a sprite. This time, click the icon that looks like a picture with a plus sign, then select Paint from the top of the menu. Use the Paint tools. The Paint editor will open up with a blank canvas. You can use the same tools you used for creating a sprite. Brush tool to draw freehand. Shape tool to add shapes like trees, houses, or mountains. Fill tool to color in the sky, ground, or anything else. Get creative. Design your backdrop however you like. Maybe it's a sunny day on a farm, or a night in the city, whatever suits your project. Save your backdrop. Your new backdrop will appear on the stage, setting the scene for your sprites. There. Now you've created a custom backdrop for your Scratch project, making it even more unique and fun. Our final technique for this video is editing an existing sprite to create extra costumes for an animation. This is a great way to make your sprite move and do different things. Here's how you can do it. Click on your sprite. First, make sure you've selected the sprite you want to edit. You can see all your sprites in the Sprites area at the bottom of the screen. Click on the sprite you want to work with. Go to the Costumes tab. At the top of the screen, you'll see tabs labeled Code, Costumes, and Sounds. Click on the Costumes tab. This will show you all the different costumes your sprite already has. Duplicate the costume. To create a new costume that's similar to the one you already have, right-click on the costume thumbnail you want to start with and select Duplicate. This will make a copy of the costume that you can now edit without changing the original. Edit the costume. Now that you have a duplicate, you can edit it. Use the paint tools on the left side of the screen to make changes. For example, move the arms or legs to make your sprite look like it's walking. Change the expression on its face to show different emotions. Add or remove details like a hat or a new color. Repeat for more costumes. If you want more frames for your animation, repeat the steps. Duplicate the costume, make changes, and save. Each costume you create will be a new frame in your animation, so the more costumes you make, the smoother your animation will be. Name your costumes. To keep things organized, you can rename each costume by clicking on its name in the costumes list. For example, you might name them Walk 1, Walk 2, and Walk 3. Test your animation. Once you've made all your costumes, go back to the Code tab and use the Switch Costume block to make your sprite change costumes during your animation. You can add a wait block between costume changes to control how fast the animation plays. Well done! You've now created extra costumes for your sprite. When you switch between them in your project, it'll look like your sprite is moving, dancing, or doing whatever action you've designed. And that's it. You now know how to create and edit sprites, backdrops, and animations. Now it's up to you. We've provided some ideas on how to move forward. If you enjoyed our content, please do not forget to like the video and subscribe as it really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.